Okay, so let's start our today's webinar. So first of all, let me welcome all of you to this wonderful webinar which is held on the festival of Dashera. So first of all, I just want to wish you a happy Dashera to all of you, and I'm seriously and truly, delighted to welcome all of you to our US taxation real talk regarding webinar. So, in this webinar, like people are joining us, right? But we are starting our webinar. So, just let me tell you guys, right? Many of you are already aware what is US taxation, and many of you are maybe new to this industry. So, what we are going to cover in today's webinar, that let's discuss today. First, we will see, like, what is US taxation, how you can enter into this US taxation, like what is the brief idea regarding our team and our roles and responsibility, what is the importance of the practical training, how we are offering our practical training with all of you, and what are the based scope and future opportunity if you will choose this US industry. So let's try to understand one of them, each one of them, right? So let me welcome Siddhi Pednekar. So myself, Manushi Shah, and my one of colleague, which is Siddhi Pednekar. We both are here to give you the hints about the US taxation. So hi Siddhi, welcome to the board. Now you can take forward. Okay, so let me give you the hints regarding to US taxation. So like what are the type of taxes are there in US? Like if we talk about Indian taxation, right? Many of you are aware regarding Indian taxation. So in India we have only centralized taxation system, but in US we have federal, state, and local taxes they have to pay. Apart from that, we have the income tax, payroll tax, sales tax, right? All these taxes are there. So basically in India, if we talk about, then we have a direct and indirect taxes. In US we don't have such bifurcation regarding direct and indirect, but we have income tax, payroll taxes, right? We have sales tax, we have gift tax, we have use taxes. So these are the different types of taxes in the US. As compared to India, US taxation is a little complex system, right? But if you are aware about Indian taxation, then it's easy to understand the things regarding to US taxation. We have income, we have deduction, we have credits, we have a certain type of uh, taxes related deductions which is only allowed as per the income tax, or you can say as per the taxation, because in US they are following gap for their accounting system. But to prepare the tax return, we are not using gap. We are using tax codes and tax regulation which is provided by the IRS is the internal revenue services. Like in India we have income tax department, and US we have the IRS. So basically what all taxes, rules, regulation, publication, forms which is there, published by the IRS website. If you are new to this industry, you can search on a Google, which is IRS. It will lead you to the website of IRS, which is Internal Revenue Services. And on that website, you can find out all the information regarding to US taxation. And it is a trustworthy website. You can research any kind of tax related topics. You can find out the new tax updates on this IRS website, right? Now many of you are not aware, like who has started this our team, like who are the main pillars of this team. So me, Manushi Shah, and Siddhi Pednekar, we both are pillar of this US practical taxation training. So if I talk about myself, so I have started my journey in this US industry before 5 years. So basically, if I talk about my Indian degree, so I am inter CA, and after passing my inter CA examination, I have completed my articleship, and wherein I have practiced almost 3 years Indian taxation and the audits. That's it. After that, once I have started my journey to this US industry, I have started as a tax preparer, right? At that time I was not aware like what are the future scope, what is the future opportunities I can avail. I just started my journey, and I still remember there were very few companies, or you can say firms, who are doing this kind of work which is related to US taxation, right? So I have started my journey. I used to prepare the tax return. I have completed one tax season. Although tax is my favorite subject, so I enjoyed a lot, but still I haven't, idea regarding the details about US taxation. So I used to prepare the returns in that tax season, but I didn't feel good because I don't know the actual, laws, actual regulations, actual future scope, and all those things, right? So after one tax season, I find that, now I need to start by my own self, because at that time no training programs were provided on this platform, whether it's on LinkedIn or whether it's on any other kind of platform. Like US taxation was very new concept at that time, right? So we learned by our managers, by our colleagues, and we learned and we developed a system of training. So basically I was into the training department of my previous organization, where I used to give training, because what I have suffered, right, at the time of preparation of the tax return, I don't want that anyone will suffer in future, right? So I have started as a tax trainer in my previous organization, and I used to train each and every new joinees who are joining our company in a tax department. So slowly and gradually I got an idea, training is my main forte. By providing training I can learn new more things. Each and every day I learned so many new things. So as a tax preparer, after that, as a trainer, after that I have started my journey again as a tax reviewer. So from starting to end, I used to prepare the tax return, I used to review the tax return, I used to file the tax return. So the whole process I used to have on the plate, right? So now I can confidently able to understand, like, when people will get confused, at what point of time they need guidance, what are the scope and what are the areas where people will make a mistake. So my journey as a trainer will start on that part. And of course, right, right now, I'm more happy that me and Siddhi both are on the same platform, because I found Siddhi who is having a same interest, right? And same motivation, and we both have started the US taxation practical workshop. Siddhi, now can you
Yeah.
able to? Yes, yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, finally. So thank you, Manushi. That was a very brief introduction by you. I'll just tell a little bit about myself. Like when I started my journey into the US taxation, I was totally fresher at that level. I was not able to understand any tax laws, any data entry or anything. I was not sure about that. But as Manushi mentioned, IRS is the main site. IRS is like just an income tax department which we have in India. Just like that, it is known as Internal Revenue Service. The whole website, you can just go through it and do a self study. But only self study will not work. You will have to work practically. You'll have to prepare a little bit of returns. You'll have to see that what treatment will be given in what circumstances to give the best quality to the clients. Not only theoretical but practical exposure is most important. So I'll just tell a little bit about myself. I started 3 years ago into this US taxation, where I came across this enrolled agent course. I and Manushi, we both cleared EA. And then we came up to a conclusion, since we both were into the training, we both were training a lot of employees. We decided to train a higher number of people outside in the market, so that the practical exposure can reach to you guys and you people can upscale yourself from your basic level to advanced level. Okay, so that is all about me and Manushi. So
Yeah, thank you, Siddhi. So, basically, guys, like what we need to, pass the message from our introduction is like, what we have suffered at the time of, starting our journey, starting our career. We don't want, like, any new joinee or any person who enter into this industry will face the same issue, because nowadays market is a very wide future scope regarding to this US taxation market, and we don't want that you will waste your time to learn, to research, and then you will start your journey. Because nowadays almost now you can compare yourself, and now you can check in the market, like there are n number of opportunities are waiting for you guys, right? So what we need to pass this message through our introduction is like, now you have the opportunity to learn the US taxation, right? So try to understand, let's grab that opportunity, and let's enter into the market along with the type of proper kind of theory as well as the practical knowledge, right? So let's talk about few things like, first we will be see the difference between Indian and the US tax system. As I already told you, that in India we have only one single tax, that is on the income tax, that we have to pay to the income tax department, right? So this is the main basic difference between Indian and US tax system. In US they have federal, state, and the local, right? So for an example, if someone is residing in New York City, right? So they have to pay New York City tax to the respective local authority. They have to pay the New York state tax to the respective state department. Along with that, have to pay the federal tax, right? That they have to pay to the IRS, right? So this is the main difference between Indian and US taxation system. Apart from that, the basic thing like income deduction credits, allowable, disallowed, all these things are there in the US also, right? But in US they have, because in India we have the income tax act, right? We have the BAR act. If you try to read and if you try to interpret the BAR act, you are not able to understand properly, right? Similar way, IRS are having their rules, their IRC codes, their publication, from where you can find, you can read the particular law and you can interpret. If I talk about this way, then as compared to Indian, income tax department information, IRS is having very good amount of information. You can find it from their website, right? So that is the main, difference between US and Indian taxation system.
So second is, how can you enter in US tax industry? See, if you are already into Indian taxation or Indian accounting, it will not be that much difficult to enter in US industry. You just need to learn some basic things, which we are going to provide you through our training, obviously. So that is the one way. Second way is, let's say you have achieved some professional degree and you want to start your own practice, or you want to start your own career separately. You can start it like that, separately, your own practice. Second thing is, there are so many KPOs, there are so many small firms which are developing currently in India. Those used to take the outsourcing work from US. Okay, why? The reason is, here we have a lot of smart people, a lot of hardworking people. All those differences are there, due to which the US CPA firms, US enrolled agent firms, they are hiring a lot of people from India. Okay, so here there are so many outsourcing companies which provide a huge package, like a reasonable package, I can say, based on your qualification, based on your practical exposure, technical knowledge. Okay, so that is the best step where you can enter into the US industry. The last option is, you can join any big four companies. Okay, all the big four companies are right now looking towards hiring the US tax professionals, US tax experts. Okay, so directly you can't go and appear an interview. Rather than before appearing to the interview, you can take the basic knowledge, technical knowledge, make your hands on the mock returns, practical returns, which we will be giving in our training. In our next slides, we will see later on what all things will be included. So these are the ways. And the last way I'll tell you is, but that is a little bit hard one. You can acquire directly the clients from the US, like you can prepare the returns from them. But if they are in your references, let's say my relatives are running some business in US, I can prepare the return for them. Okay, so that are some direct contacts. If you have a high network, then you can go through that way. But the first three options are the best options which you can through which you can enter into the US tax industry.
Yes. So thank you, Siddhi. So guys, now you can able to, identify the options. What are the options are available in like, if you want to enter into this industry, right? According to your qualification, according to your choice, you can avail those options, right? Now let's try to understand why you need to choose this industry, right? Like, see, we don't we almost, like, when I talk about myself, I have started my journey, to pursue the chartered accountancy course. I was not sure what I want to do, but what I have observed, like, go with the flow. Many of my friends, many of my colleagues, those are also, used to pursue the chartered accountancy course, so I also started that, right? So don't go with the flow. First of all, you have to identify the benefits. What are the benefits are available if I will choose this industry, right? So why you want to choose this industry? So right now, as you guys can see, that many of job openings, many of the hirings, scales are available into this industry. Why? Because nowadays US people want to shift their work to the Indian people. The main two reason: first, they will get the knowledgeable, trustworthy persons from Indian people, right? Because we Indians are more smarter than any other country's people, right? Are you agree with me? Yes or no? Right? So that is the first important thing. Second thing, cost wise it is effective, as well as timing difference. We can grab the opportunity due to this two reason. One is the cost benefit for them, as well as the timing difference benefit. So currently we are having the afternoon, right? So if they are giving us the work at their end of the day, right? Once they will wake up, we will complete our work, we will submit them, right? So that is the timing benefit they will get, right? And the second one, if they will offer the same similar kind of job to those people who are there in the US, they have to pay them at a minimum rate, which is into the dollar, right? And the same thing, if they will offer to us, they have to pay lesser rate. They want to if they want to hire them from the US people, right? So that is two main benefit with available with them. One is timing difference, and one is the cost benefit. So if you want to avail this opportunity, right? So this is the main thing, like main benefit you can say, like, if you want to enter into this industry, right? So nowadays you can see in the market, right, what is the situation. Not only if I talk about India, right? Philippines is having very good opportunities, right? So this is the base time, right, to enter into this industry, right? If you want to plan, if you want to switch, or if you want to start your journey, because many of you are students, right? Many of you are already a tax professional, many of you are already pursuing either any certification course from US, right? So this is the right and the best time to invest into this industry.
Yeah, correctly said. As I was just reading one article in next 5 years, like there are Shai, yes, we'll answer all your questions. You can just note down all your questions. We'll take all questions at once in Q&A session. Okay. So, like, I was just reading that article. In that it was mentioned in next 5 years, the financial growth over there is going to get hampered. But what they will do, they will look for the cheap labors. Means they are going to divert all the tax related works, accounting, bookkeeping, all the works, they will outsource it to India, so that their finance, their costing will get reduced. They'll do the cost cutting more in the near future. So I can see that future in the next 5 years, where we can reach by entering today in US taxation. Today, if you enter, just imagine after 5 years how your knowledge and how you're going to upscale yourself in the upcoming years. Okay, so I'll just like to tell you that along with the practical exposure, if you feel that you also need some professional degree, just like a US CPA, you can go for US CPA, right? You can go for enrolled agent, right? So along with the practical exposure, you can clear your theoretical concept, right? And that will be an additional add-on when you go for any other job, or if you want to shift from one job to another, or if you want to give your quality to your client. Your quality work will talk about yourself. Like when you guide your client that, look, you need to invest into the IRA account, or you can take this deductions. How you'll able to guide them if you are theoretically, conceptually, and practically clear about that knowledge? You will be easily able to flaunt that knowledge in front of your client, right? That is the main reason I can say. So yes, Manushi.
Yes. Now we have already seen that, like, why you need to choose this industry. If I talk about future scope, so what Siddhi said, right? According to the Bureau Labor Statistics, right? This is not my own words, but according to Bureau Labor Statistics report, it is mentioned in that the downtime, after the 5 years, this US taxation, US accounting, and this US industry will give you 20 to 25% growth. You can imagine your growth after 5 years. If you have selected any other industry, you can see your growth, and if you will select this industry, you can see your growth, right? So these are the numbers. I don't want to go into the, dip into the numbers, but this is the main, reason. So, like, why they are outsourcing their work, right? So if you are aware that in US, what is the actual situation is, many students don't want to pursue their career into the US accounting industry. Means they want to do any other kind of work, but they don't want to invest. They don't want to get this, CPA or EA license, but they want to do any other kind of task. So manpower restriction is there in the US. Not only manpower, but knowledgeable manpower is not available with them. And second thing, after pandemic, right, many of CPAs wants to shift their practice. They want to outsource their work, right? You can see many big four companies right now, they are offering work from home. They just want to develop the culture only and only work from home, right? So many of US CPAs want to shift their practice, want to, outsource their work to us. They are ready to give the work, but currently, we have to identify and we have to grab this opportunity. So this is the future scope you can see, if you will choose this industry, right?
Correct. So here now I'll explain how we can help you. See, there are a lot of work which is there in the market, right? So if you want to grab that work, you should polish yourself. You should be equipped with the required knowledge, to present yourself in front of them to acquire that work, right? It can be any job interview, or it can be directly with the client interaction. It can be any XYZ reason. You can go through any path which I mentioned earlier. But for that, you need to equip with the proper knowledge. Okay, so we have whole 8 days training designed specifically. This is first time in whole I can say market, or I can say industry, where we have developed 8 day comprehensive training. 8 day will be individuals, 8 day will be corporate training. Like it's like 16 days, I can say. So no other, nowhere else you will find the whole comprehensive thing will be covered in this whole 8 day course, which will be happening on weekend basis. Okay, so let's see what is the course content. The main thing which we all were waiting was for course content. So yes, Manush.
Okay, thank you, Siddhi. So, guys, like what we can offer to you guys, right? Many of you already pursuing for CP or EA, right? You can see like your concepts, your theoretical things is very good at that point of time, right? When you will complete your examination, like because in enrolled agent examination, in CPA examination, you will find your you can exercise your analytical skills, right? You cannot just find the rules and regulation and you just need to answer it. No, you have to apply it, right? But that is only up to the theoretical portion, right? Many a times, like because me and Siddhi, we both were into this training department of our organization, right? So many of times what we have seen, people are good at theoretical knowledge, but when we have to apply into the practical life, when we have to prepare the tax return, they don't want, or they not able to prepare the correct tax return. So after taking this thing into the consideration, we have designed and we have planned 8 days training program, right? Which is comprehensively, for the new joinees or who are already pursuing CPA or EA, or who want to start their journey into this industry. So this 8 days will be having a weekends batch because many of you are already working, right? So it is not possible for you guys to join the session on the weekdays. So we have planned this weekends batch, right? From morning 8 to 10, we will be starting this batch, right? And 8 days specifically for the individual taxation and 8 days specifically for the corporate taxation. Now, if I talk about individual taxation, so we have the main form for the individual taxation, which is form 1040, right? Along with this 1040, we have the different form, which is 1040 NR, 1040X, 1040 SR, right? So these are the 1040X. So these are the different associated forms with 1040, right? Which is prepared for the individuals. So how we have designed this 8 days program. So for day one and day two, we will be giving you whole idea regarding to US individual taxation. Now what it will include, it will include the whole US tax structure. It will include the overview of the form, overview of the each and every schedules, each and every forms. We will be covering brief summary regards to with regards to all the types of income deduction credits, right? Apart from this thing, all other miscellaneous required knowledge is required for this training program, right? That we have already covered. So for an example, how to make the estimated tax payment, how you can amend the tax return, what are the penalties if you are not able to pay the estimated taxes on the time, how you can prepare the tax planning. So each and everything we have covered into this. From day 3, we will be starting with the practical workshop. Now, just try to remember this thing. We are not preparing the tax return on the directly 1040 form, right? We are going to provide one tax software which is commonly used in the US, that is the DRAC, right? We will be providing the DRAC software link which you can install on your system, right? And that you can use it for the lifetime period. It is not for only 30 days trial version, right? That you can install on your system, you can utilize it whenever you want to prepare the tax return. So from day 3 to day 7, we will be preparing at least 5 tax return which are having a combination of different types of income deduction credits, right? And along with this 5 tax return, we will be providing more 5 tax return to you guys for your practice purpose. So basically, in this 8 days workshop, you guys will be preparing almost 10 tax return. If you are comfortable, if you want to ask some more tax return for the practice, then we are happy to share more tax return for your practice purpose, right? So at least 10 tax return we are going to prepare in this 7 days plan. And on the last day, that is the 8th day, whatever tax returns you guys have prepared, we will discussing the output of each and every tax return. What are the key points of each and every tax return? What are the crucial points, right, which we need to take care in each and every, because we have such designed all the tax returns such a way that it will cover most probably all kinds of critical things, right? So that we will be discussing on the 8th day. Apart from that, if you guys have any kind of doubt after reading first, second, session, so basically on the first and second session, we will be providing the training material which we have prepared by our own self, right? We have prepared in a manner that you can refer it any future period of time, right? Whenever you will start your practice, or whenever you will get your job, and whenever you will prepare the tax return, you can refer that particular material. It will help you to resolve your doubts, right? So on the 8th day we will be having a doubt solving session, right? And if you guys have prepared all the tax return, if you have submitted all the tax return, then we will be providing you the certification, that is the certification for the participation into 8 days training program, which you guys can add on your resume, right? Which will be give the more impact on your resume that you have completed our 8 days training program, right? So that is 8 days plan for the individual taxation. Now Siddhi will tell you 8 days plan for the corporate tax.
Okay. So for corporate tax, mainly we are going to use three different forms, that is 1120 S Corp, 1065, and 1120. So first day, I'll just walk through the different types of business entities. Just like in India, there are private, public limited companies. There we have a little bit different types of entities. That is S corporation, C corporation, partnership firm, LLCs. So what all this type of business entities are, what forms they are going to use, what are their filing deadlines, all the basic walkthrough I will be doing on the first and the second day. Second day will also cover some income and expenses. I'll just go through each and every line item of this, all the three forms. Okay, which line item is used for what purpose? Because we are not here to provide you just the information on how to input the data into the Drake software. You should be aware about which line of the form is used for what purpose. Because an interview, when you appear in any interview, it can be within India or from directly to the US clients, they might ask you some terminologies which you can directly refer to the line numbers. Okay, so that is the reason why we are going to cover the whole form line by line for the corporate, all the three forms. Okay, from day 3 to 7, we'll take each and every mocks one by one for each type of form. See, we have three different forms. All the three will have different treatments. Mainly, those who are actually like doing the practical exposure in the US taxation, just like me and Manushi, they face main problem in M1, M2 reconciliation. So that thing we are going to cover in a little bit detail, that how you're going to reconcile your M1, that is your book profit, to your tax profit. Okay. People have just mug up the things that, yeah, this needs to be added, this needs to be reduced. But why it is getting added, why it is getting reduced, why the bonus depreciation is treated differently, why 179 deduction is treated differently. Everything I will be covering in our corporate mocks. Okay. So all the 5 mocks are unique mocks. They will have a different case scenarios. No mock will get repeated. Every mock will have a little bit different, I can say, complexities in that, so that you can understand how to deal with these items when it come into your real life. Okay. On day 8, we'll have some Q&A session, some practice mocks which I will be giving. We will discuss it on the last day. Okay. And there are certain people, like if they feel like this topic needs to be added in our training, so at last day I can take that in our training session a little bit about that. Okay. So this is about the whole course content of our corporate. Other things Manushi has already mentioned, that training materials and everything will be provided in day one and day two, which you can refer it in the future. So our upcoming batch, which we have discussed right now, will be starting from next Saturday and Sunday, next weekend, I can say. So you can enroll today, as this is the occasion of Dasera. So we have added a 10% discount on whatever is our course fees. So if you want to, guys, want to enroll, you can just connect with us, or in chat box you can see there is a one link which is forwarded by Manushi. Just fill out that Google form to enroll yourself. It's just a matter of 8 weekends. Okay. After completing this 8 weekends, you will be fully confident to prepare your tax return wholly by yourself. Okay. So this is all about our course details, what all things we are going to cover, what is the basic laws in the US taxation, all the basic things we have covered. Now we are open for any Q&A sessions. We are going to take any questions which you guys have. You can just raise your hand and